50, 45, there goes Davis.
Oh my God!
Davis is going to run it all the way back. Auburn's going to win the football game. Auburn's going to win the football game. He ran the missed field goal back. He ran it back 109 yards. They're not going to keep him off the field tonight. Holy cow. Oh my God. Auburn wins. Auburn has won the Iron Bowl. Auburn has won the Iron Bowl in the most unbelievable fashion you will ever see.
Welcome in, everyone, to episode 315 of The Dream Wager. Today is October 4th, 2023, and as always, I'm your host, D-Rock, and joining me on this scorcher of an October day, Elvis. Is this climate change, or like, what's going on here, kid?
Still, to be honest, I just feel like September was just a shit show with so much rain that, Mother Nature was like, you know what, we owe y'all a couple days. So let's give y'all a nice week in October. 80s, high 70s throughout the whole week, though. So we enjoying it. Yes, it's a little hotter than we expect it to be, but hey, rather it be a little hotter than it already be freezing. So
yes, couldn't agree more. I'd rather have the hot weather than the cold weather. Could always take clothes off. Can't always put everything on. I'll tell you that much. But yeah, we got a great show for you guys today. We'll recap Sunday Night Football. Awful game Monday night. We got our power rankings through week 4 going into the 5th week of the NFL. And we'll start week 5 in Maryland as the Redskins host the Chicago Bears. But Elvis, Sunday Night Football, I'll tell you this. After the first quarter, I'm sitting here like, okay, I could go to sleep at half. 17-0. I could go to sleep early. I got work in the morning. I said, I'm not even going to watch it, put myself through the misery. And then I think the safety, you felt the tide turn. It all started with Aaron Rodgers. And might I add, looks good, looks ahead of schedule. He's out here, and I love everyone on X saying they're all doctors on X, by the way. If you didn't know, they're all doctors. So they're saying, oh, that's not good for his Achilles. It's not. Actually, Aaron Rodgers came out and said the ankle brace actually helps him walk. So ahead of schedule, he's over there. No fucking fingers on the spiral or the laces. And he's out here throwing spirals in pregame to Randall Cobb. So looks good. Gave the boys a pep talk before the game. And I think that's what really did it, to be honest. The defense in the second half played really good. And I would laugh in your face if you ever told me Zach Wilson outplayed Patrick Mahomes in an NFL game. But here comes it. Zach Wilson, he played better than Patrick Mahomes. I mean, that drive coming out at half, I'm not exaggerating, Elvis. Every throw was perfect. Led it off with a back shoulder. Another seam route to Alan Lazard. I mean, his pinpoint accuracy, I think the only thing we could really fault him for is the fumble in the third quarter. But other than that, I think he played an amazing game. QBR 105.5. Patrick Mahomes was 63. We picked off Patrick Mahomes twice. I mean, if you just look at the box score and you don't look at the final result, you would say, oh, the Jets might have won the game. Like, picked off Patrick Mahomes. You held the Chiefs offense to only 3 points in the second half. I mean, this was the best Zach Wilson's looked in his career. I hate moral victories because it's loser talk, but it definitely was one. They played really well the second half. And I like the ownership after the game. I thought that showed real maturity, and that's not something Zach Wilson would have done last year. Yeah, like I said, the only thing I could really hang the hat on was the fumble was kind of bad, but I thought the play calling too. On first down, we got to see him throw the ball quick, get the ball out of his hands, and that's what happens when you force feed Garrett Wilson. 9 catches for 60 yards, excuse me. Al Lazard had the touchdown, but I thought it was a really good game. I thought it's something that they could build towards till Denver this week, but yeah, other than that, I thought we should have won the game. But what'd you think of Sunday Night Football?
Still, to be honest, I was impressed. We saw arguably the best version of Zach Wilson thus far. The only thing I'm going to honestly say, Dill, is he looked confident. He looked like I can make this throw. Like he was calling plays with some bass in his throat, you could say, Dill. So he just looked much confident. I like the fact that the Nathaniel Hackett, instead of just handing it down and handing it off in first down, he was out here trying to sling the ball on first down. So I appreciate that. Knowing you got nothing to lose, you're going against the Super Bowl champs. Why not let it all hang out? And the kid actually performed well, though. Like you said, he went only 11 incompletions. I would have never thought that. 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, though. That's the main thing. I understand he fumbled and basically lost the game. I understand that, people. But the fact that y'all was in position to win the game, that's what you got to take away from it, Dill. Defense. I told you since week 1, Dill, this defense is going to give you position each week in, week out to possibly win a game. Zach Wilson just can't turn the ball over. And that's what we saw. He turned the ball over. He ended up losing the game. I'm not going to say that's the reason you lost the game. I'm not going to put it on Zach Wilson. I'm not going to put it on the ref either. All I'm saying is Patrick Mahomes threw a 3rd interception. I feel like that should have been stood on the field. And then let's see if the kid could go down like he was all second half, march down the field and get possibly 3 points, possibly a touchdown to take the lead, Dill. But give credit to Zach Wilson. He looked good. If Zach Wilson plays somewhat similar, it don't have to be exactly.
The season's not over.
You know, y'all can win a handful of games, Dill. And then with the Chiefs on the other side, Dill. Bright side, Patrick Mahomes he looked bad. So that's negative. But bright side, Dill, 204 yards rushing.
I know.
Pacheco from Jersey, Dill. We should have known better.
We should have took his over on principle. All night he was running the ball like someone touched his mother. He was, oh my God, man. He was a beast.
So y'all made Patrick Mahomes look human. Let's just say he looked human because Patrick Mahomes has been looking like a fucking stud the last 5 years. So I'm gonna say y'all made Patrick Mahomes haven't looked like that bad since the Tampa Super Bowl. So give credit to the Jets defense. You're gonna keep your team in each game throughout the season. That we saw it against the Bills and we saw it against the Chiefs, arguably the 2 best teams in the AFC. So give credit, but y'all got to do a better job shutting down the run. Other than that, good job.
Yeah. And I think you touched on a lot, and I want to, before we get into the call, because that's the last thing I want to touch on. It's second game in a row without any picks. I think that's something to, move on from and definitely build upon. Both primetime games at home, it seems like they come out and they play, which is a good sign.
It's a good sign that they're being well coached.
Yeah, play calling I thought was light years ahead of what we've seen, because you can't hand the ball off and get down 2nd and 10, 3rd and 10, because you're never going to get off the field in that sense. So I loved all that. I love the play calling, getting the ball out quick. On the bright side for the Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes arguably played one of his worst games ever, and they still won. So that is also a big step. What the fuck is Dalvin Cook doing on this team? Like I'm on. Like honestly, like I don't want him on the team anymore. Like he does nothing. It's
funny though.
I know, because I was like, oh, he's a caveat. He's icing on the cake. No, he's awful. There's no reason. He's taking carries away from Breece Hall, and when you see Breece Hall get in a rhythm, we get first downs. We get a 15-yard gain. Dalvin Cook has averaged 3.1 yards per pop. You get him off the field. He's been horrendous. So, other than that, I think it's a good sign. The one thing I did at what I wanted to see from Zach Wilson, and we didn't get the chance to. Down 3 against the defending Super Bowl champs. Can you lead your team to get points? Can you? Because that was the moment I wanted to see. Okay, you played a really good game. Let's go see if you can do it now. And he didn't get the opportunity. Now to the call. I think it's a bogus call just because, and bias aside, he ran into him. That's one. And when he pushed, when his arms locked, it kind of looks like he pushed him. And I guess if you want to be letter to the law, I guess technically it was pass interference or holding, whatever they wanted to call, but they weren't calling it the whole game. And if they were, okay, I could understand that they're kind of calling it close to the call. But there was multiple on the Chiefs that they didn't call. The previous play when they were literally mugging Jermaine Johnson on the sideline when Patrick Mahomes escaped for 30 yards. There wasn't a call on that. If there's calls on both ends and there's consistency, then I could be like, okay, I understand where they're coming from. I might not agree, but I understand it. It's been the whole game. They haven't called a penalty literally the whole game. And then after the fact that he picked it off, it wasn't immediate. When you see a penalty, it's usually immediate that they throw it. A hold, illegal contact, pass interference. You see it immediately. It was literally seconds after he intercepted the ball. So that's what I have an issue with. But other than that, I thought it was a really good game. And I can't wait. I tweeted the video out of Marcus Peters, the video out, excuse me, where Marcus Peters was talking to Sean Payton. He goes, tell Sean Payton we coming for his ass. Yeah. So we coming for Sean Payton. Yeah, spinning it forward. I guess what can you take out of this Jets loss? They played good. Now they're going and playing not tough, but a Denver team that's hungry to win. They're trying to build off that win last week.
Dill, to be honest, you just need Zach Wilson to perform at this level. The defense is the defense. We know they're a top 5, possibly a top 3 defense week in, week out, though. It's just, can Zach Wilson throw for, 240 yards plus again? Could he throw for 2 touchdowns? Could he throw for no interceptions? Could he have an over 100 quarterback rating? That's the questions we need to be answered, Dill. It's not Breece Hall. It's not Zach Wilson. It's not Alex Lazar. It's not even fucking Randall Cobb. He had a couple, good plays this season. It's just, can Zach Wilson keep it together, be consistent, and lead the team to a win? All he has to do is game manage at a high level. We're not saying he needs to go out there and throw for 353 touchdowns. We're not saying that, people. All we're saying is, if he gives you 240, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, y'all should be able to win that game week in, week out. Yeah, I just happened to run against the Super Bowl champs.
100%. So very good game, I would say. I was up to the very end, but yeah, Jets cover the 8.5 or 7, depending on what number you got, and the game goes.
They covered no matter what.
Yeah, they did cover no matter what. I should have took them, but I stayed away. Let's talk about the ugly game Monday night. Seahawks win 24-3 at MetLife. Second straight home game where the Giants have failed to score a touchdown. I know it was bad, and Daniel Jones was bad. He threw 2 interceptions, Elvis. I get all that. He only threw for 200 yards. But, man, that offense is just as bad. That offensive line, he was running around for the whole night. No Saquon winded up really hurting him. They couldn't find any rhythm offensively. Daniel Jones led the team in rushing. They couldn't get anything with Matt Breida going. Matt Breida led him in receiving yards. I mean, where is Darren Waller? He's like another Kyle Pitts. I mean, it's just the offense is just so bad. What's going on? What are you seeing that's wrong with the Giant team? Because it's not Daboll, I don't think.
It's not Daboll, Dill. And to be honest, I'm not going to put a lot of the blame on Daniel Jones, Dill. This is the offensive line. Dill, it's the offensive line. You heard me right, Dill. 10 sacks.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Let me repeat that. It was the offensive line, Dylan. They gave up 10 sacks. 3 to safety / cornerbacks. Unblocked. You have video of Gary Neal, the first round tight end, top 10 pick, blocking his own teammate instead of the Russian defender.
I saw that.
Dill, he's paid to block the opposition, and he got paid to block.
How does that happen?
Dill, is he playing with a blindfold? No, it's not funny. I'm not a Giants fan, so I could care less. I could have went 3-0. I took Seahawks money line, Walker anytime touchdown, and I said Daniel Jones over rushing because they're not going to be able to do anything. And look, all 3 hit. I just leaned the Daniel Jones rushing. I wish I would have took it. Would have went 3-0 positive week. That's not the here or there. But Dill, I don't care what anybody says. Don't come at Daniel Jones. This man was under pressure all night. No Saquon Barkley, who we all know, Dill, is the number 1 offensive option on this team. Arguably the best player on the whole team is Saquon Barkley. So give credit to the Seahawks for embarrassing the New York Giants at home, Dill. It's not the first time this season. We saw the 40-0 in week 1, Dill. So at the end of the day, Daniel Jones went 27 for 34. Not bad.
You're talking like you're a Giant fan.
No, I'm talking that, Dill, you got to give him a break in this situation.
I can't. Someone needs to be fired. I think it's the special teams coach. Your best offensive tackle, Andrew Thomas. First of all, you make a good point. That offensive line is atrocious, but it doesn't seem like anyone's getting better. You mentioned the guy Neal they drafted in the first round. He's blocking his own teammate. Like, we joke, but it's a serious thing. Like,
real quick, I'm not trying to defend him. All I'm saying is 27 for 34 is pretty damn great.
Andrew Thomas got hurt playing special teams. Someone needs to go. Like, Daniel Jones isn't playing bad, but some of the turnovers are kind of bad. But I understand because he has no weapons. He's forcing things.
He has to force. He got no Saquon. He got no weapons. Darren Waller looking like
they brought him in to try to create separation and give him another target, and he's done nothing.
Nothing, Dale. So I'm not gonna fault Daniel Jones. Darren Waller underachieving. All three wide receivers underachieving. Slayton, Shepard. All of them underachieving. Hodges, Saquon is hurt. At the end of the day, the kid went 27 for 34. Only 7 incompletions. 2 of them were interceptions.
Yeah. One was bad. One, I'll give him a break on the Witherspoon one. He jumped it perfectly.
And then he turns around, goes 10 rushes for 66 yards. Leads the team in rushing. So, Dill, once again, he goes 27 for 34, 200 yards, 2 horrible interceptions, 1 real horrible, 1 just a bad idea, and then he also led the team in rushing.
Now, I'm not gonna give this one on Giant fans that are saying, "Oh, they're fed up. They shouldn't have paid him. They should have taken care of Saquon," because apparently to me, not apparently, it seems to me that the reason they got so far and won 9 games and beat a shitty Minnesota team last season in the playoffs was because of Saquon. It wasn't because of Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones played as good as he did because of Saquon.
Talk to him.
No, I'm asking your opinion because that's what I think. And now people are saying, oh, well, Daniel Jones didn't play that bad, but there needs to be some accountability. He did play bad. I mean, he played okay in the box score, but if you look in the game, some of those things just can't happen.
No, Dill, I agree with you. But, Dill, if the offensive line just blocks and let's just say they allow 3 sacks instead of 10, Dill, they're going to score points on the board. Like, you can't give up 10 sacks. That's what, 3 away from the NFL record.
Yeah. Come
on, now they almost set the fucking record. You just can't allow that offensively. The offensive line coach, his job got to be had, Dill.
I'm telling you, like, I'm not overreacting. Someone has to go. That's 2-10. So they scored 0 points. They've scored 3 total points at home this season. They got shut out Sunday night 40-0. They come back in the second half. They got shut out for 6 straight quarters. They came back and scored 31 and beat Arizona. They scored 12 measly points and lost. They've scored 3 points. They have 15 points in 2 games. And now they're going back-to-back games on the road against the Dolphins, who are probably going to take their frustration out on them. I feel like that offense could put 50 up on them. Then you go and play at Orchard Park. Like, something has to change in this offense, especially if Saquon doesn't come back. Like, how can this offense find a rhythm, Elvis? If you're talking to Brian Daboll, we have Brian Daboll on right now. What advice are you giving this man to try to change this offense, especially what you see moving forward, but not just those 2 games? Then they have to play at home where they sucked against the Commanders, who could put up points, where Eric Bieniemy, and the Jets. Like, they could honestly have 1 win going into the bye.
No, I'm gonna tell them straight up. You're gonna have to do something with that offensive line. You're gonna have to either 1, drop a player, sign a couple players, or 2, just mix it around, move it around to see what's the best capable way they could block, Dale, because what we saw on Monday night is not it. What we saw week 1 was not it. So I understand they're down, they're starting left tackle, but Dale, that was atrocious what we saw from the offensive line, Dale. You can't allow 10 sacks, especially on a primetime game.
Yeah, no, it was bad. On the Seahawks side, I thought they looked good. Nothing overly impressive. Gino did roll his ankle. I don't think it was a dirty hit. He's saying it was.
It was a little late, Dylan.
It was a little late, and he kind of rolled on the ankle a little bit, but that's the NFL. I've been in so many. I've played football for long enough where sometimes you just roll. I don't think it was intentional. He went after Geno Smith. So I will say that offensively, like, besides Kenneth Walker, who, oh my God, have yourself a day. Other than that, I really didn't think offensively they did anything. They didn't really need to, but they won the game. What'd you see from Seattle?
Not much, Locke Kane gave that little pass to
he's exciting, I'll tell you.
And then Noah Fant ran 100 yards with it, and got stopped at the one that Kenneth Walker was able to take care of business still. But I think it was a defensive win. Kenneth Walker had himself a good day, 17 for basically 80 yards. The team overall ran for $121. Offensively passing, Gino, like you said, he got taken out the game. He missed about a quarter and a half, the whole second. And then he came back after half still, but he didn't really have to do much. The defense took care of business. Shout out Devin Witherspoon, the rookie, on his first touchdown. So that was great for him. But
of his career, dating back in Illinois as well, he never had a touchdown.
So congrats to him, Dill. It was a defensive show, defensive outing. That's who deserves the award, not the offense.
What do you think of Jamal Adams' first day back in 385 days, and then his first game back takes a knee to the head
from Daniel Jones,
and then looks like he just got knocked out by Jorge Gamebred Masvidal. You gotta feel for the guy now. Possibly almost getting suspended. With Adam Schefter came out and said just because he kind of had his words with the independent neurologist who I think was trying to do his job. He wasn't having it. He's like, I'm good.
He was not good. He got to take another week or two off and just take it easy, Jamal, because you're a hell of a talent, but you got to find a way to stay on the field.
I felt bad. He was going 100 miles an hour during the game, but tried to make a tackle. You go too low, and look what happens, kid. But yeah, overall, good week. Like I was saying, Elvis, you said you finished above 500, correct? What was your
6-6? We ended up Sunday night. Chiefs hit the teaser. We teased them down, and then Monday night, I could have went over 500 if I took Daniel Jones. I just didn't trust it without Saquon. Seahawks money line, and then Walker the third. I said the third, Dill. Anytime touchdown.
Yeah, so right now for me, last week I went 10-9 overall. Overall, I am 35-37. I am down 2 units so far in the first month. I guess it's the first quarter done in the NFL. So week 1 really fucked me, but I've had 3 winning weeks in a row. So something to build on here. Let's get to our power rankings. Like I said, it's been, I guess, a quarter of the season gone by. I think teams have kind of shown you who they really are, Elvis. So I think maybe our top 1 and 2 are kind of the same. I'll start off. I got to go 49ers here. Still number 1. Best defense, Brock Purdy. Top 10 quarterback. Yeah, I said it. I don't think the discussion has to end where we're saying, oh, well, all his weapons, he's under Kyle Shanahan. No, he's a good quarterback. His decision-making, his pocket awareness, his accuracy. The guy's just a really good quarterback. That's just plain and simple. So Christian McCaffrey, best running back in the league. He should be up for MVP as well, but it's a quarterback award. But yeah, I like the 49ers until they lose, until they show me a flaw. They're still number 1.
Still, number 1, give me the 49ers. Ain't nothing much to talk about. I've been saying it all season long. Dylan been saying it all season long. They're just a flat-out best team in football, loaded with Pro Bowlers, both sides of the ball. Give me the 49ers at number 1.
Yeah, for me, number 2, Philadelphia Eagles. Still undefeated, top 2 teams, undefeated 4-0. They kind of had a scare at home, but you figured, the Skins would play them tough. Rivalry game in division, but AJ Brown, since having his temper tantrum on the sideline, could have been a good thing because he's been balling out. He's still running up the sideline for the fucking Eagles. So Jalen Hurts played better. Swift looks like he really found a rhythm. I think this is a perfect spot for him. They look really good so far. So until they lose, they're at number 2 for me.
Still, at number 2, I had to put this team at number 2 just because ever since week 2 and on, they're playing perfect football. Give me the Buffalo Bills at number 2, Dill. I'm a little shocked that I'm saying this, Dill, but put up 50 piece against Miami. Miami was rolling high. We've seen what they've been doing the last 3 weeks, Dill. Give me the Buffalo Bills at number 2, Dill. Josh Allen's playing at an MVP level. Stephon Diggs playing his heart out for his brother. Ever since his brother went down, Dill, he's been balling back-to-back weeks. So, and then that defense, Dill, I understand that they lost your JDS White, Dill. Von Miller's coming back, and let's just be real, Dill. That defense might be the best defense in the AFC right now.
Yeah, I got the Bills at number 3. Huge win for them. Like you said, since after their week 1 loss against the Jets, they've been playing, especially in the AFC, like the best team. Josh Allen is now the leader in MVP. And I said it to you privately during the week. I said, ever since Monday night where everyone criticized him, where they told him he had to grow up, Josh Allen has been the best quarterback in the league. Plus 350 now to win. Von Miller said there's a 95% chance he's probably going to fly and play in London this weekend. So getting Von Miller back, all signs lead to a healthy Bills team. They've kind of turned it around. The only people that give them problems, Zach Wilson. So
no cap. So
it's the truth. But yeah, Bills, they're rolling right now. I got them at 3.
So at number 3, I was going to move him down a little bit, but I was like, you know what? I'm not going to overreact. Give me the Kansas City Chiefs at number 3. The Chiefs at number 3, Dill. I'm not going to overreact. You know, at the end of the day, you got a top 5 defense, Dill. Yeah, I made them look bad. It's okay, but at the end of the day, what's the key stack, Dill? They walked away with the victory. Moving forward, they're still a top 3 team, Dill. I don't want to hear no ifs, ands, or buts. Patrick Mahomes, still Patty Mahomes. That defense, still pretty good. Give me the Chiefs at number 3.
I'm not surprised you put them there. I'm surprised the Eagles aren't in your top 3 undefeated, but that's what I'm more concerned. But yeah, I got the Chiefs at 4. I mean, I'm not worried about the close game. Jets just have a really good defense. That's what it is. And sometimes Patrick Mahomes gets away with throwing those type of balls and gets away with it against bad defenses. We just happen to pick him off twice. I'm not worried about him. Chris Jones looks like he hasn't missed a step either. That defense is playing well. And if Pacheco is running like he did Sunday night, watch out. And we held Pfizer boy to like 3 catches. So he really didn't do anything. So other than that, yeah, I'm not really worried about them. They got the best play caller in Andy Reid. Yeah, I got the Chiefs at number 4.
So at number 4, it was a toss-up with the Chiefs and Eagles, but I had to put the Eagles at number 4 just because, Dill, they haven't had a dominating win this season so far. Yes, they're 4-0, Dill, but that Washington game, Dill, they should have took care of business. There's no reason why that game should have went to overtime, Dill. Defense starting to look a little better, but they gave up 30 points against Washington after Washington did 4 interceptions the week prior, Dill. I expected the Eagles defense to show out a little better than what they did. Still hasn't impressed me enough to put them top 3. Give me the Eagles at number 4.
You're a tough one to impress. Like my boy Herm Edwards says, you play to win the game. For number 5, I have the Dallas Cowboys. Big bounce back win against your Patriots at home, 38-3. Their defense doesn't worry me. I think they're gonna tear up opponents that they should. We'll find out really about 2 teams. Can they beat the best team, the Cowboys, this Sunday night? And for the 49ers, can they beat a really good team and a good defense? They haven't really been tested so far, so we'll see. I think it's a big test. But, you know, Dak's taking care of the ball thus far. Mike McCarthy's running the ball well, so they're still a very good team with that defense. If it stays intact and they don't suffer any more injuries, it's a top 5 team. So give me the Cowboys at 5.
Same deal. Give me the Cowboys at number 5. Like you said, just complete domination against my New England Patriots. Still got them, put them back at number 5. Like you said, Dak is really the only question. The defense ain't really concerning. Trayvon Diggs goes down. He goes down, and then look, Blam following week pick 6. So I'm not too worried about the Diggs injury, Dill. Even though he is a Pro Bowler, Dill, Blam is still a solid DB. So The defense is going to be fine. It's just, can Dak be consistent enough week in, week out? That's the question. Give me the Cowboys at number 5.
And with Micah Parsons and you got Dexter Lawrence, you got no time back there to sit. So you and I have found out about that. Number 6, tough loss, but I had to drop them, the Miami Dolphins. I still think they're a very good team, especially in the AFC, but they dropped from 3 to 6. The Bills just manhandled them. And I like Tua's answer. It kind of humbled them a little bit. And he was kind of talking to some people on the defense. After that win against a very bad Denver team that's really not impressing at this point. I mean, if I ask
70 is impressive, but the win
70, they could have put up more, to be honest. So they were I think it's a reality shock. And sometimes that's what teams need, a little, to be humbled a little bit. And in the NFL, it can come really quick. And the Bills are basically saying, hey, we're still here. We're still the team to beat in the AFC East, let alone the AFC. So, yeah, I still like the Dolphins. I think they have a great offense. Mike McDaniel's a genius, I think. But defensively, Vance Joseph, I think, needs to scheme up some better designs. It was kind of predictable what he wanted to do against Josh Allen, and Josh Allen just picked him apart all game. But, yeah, I like the Dolphins. When they get Jalen Ramsey back, I do think it will help their defense a little bit. But right now, I got them at 6.
Still, same. Give me the Miami Dolphins at number 6. I'm not going to overreact over one bad loss at Orchard Park when Josh Allen was playing out of his mind. Yeah. I expect the second matchup in Miami with Jalen Ramsey on the team to be a much better matchup. Can't wait for that one. But, I'm not going to overreact. Miami's still a top 5-ish team. I'm going to just put them at number 6 for now.
Yeah, I can't wait for that rematch. I think it comes late week 18, so it might not even mean anything, to be honest.
It might be for the division.
Might be. I hope so. At number 7, give me the Baltimore Ravens. Big win last week over who did they play?
The Browns.
The Browns on the road. I know it was DTR. He was throwing the ball behind the line of scrimmage. He couldn't even complete a pass, but I like Lamar. They're getting healthier. Mark Andrews had a really good game. Their defense, we're going to tout on all year. Their defense is top 5 in the AFC. Might be top 5 in the whole league, especially running the ball. So I think they're winning games on the road. So, and that's what's really impressive. So I like the Baltimore Ravens. I think they'll be fine. They're getting healthier. If they can consistently run the ball and not turn the ball over by Lamar, I think they're going to be in a really prime position. That ticket to win the division looks pretty good right now, E. So I got the Ravens at 7.
Still, at number 7, give me the Baltimore Ravens. The fact that we're aligned for 3 straight, kind of weird and good, Dill, because we're thinking alike. That's good. Give me the Ravens at number 7, though. I had the Ravens up with 7 last week. I didn't move them up just because they did what they were supposed to do.
Yeah.
Beat up on a very bad backup quarterback. That's all. I'm not gonna diminish the kid DTR. He did his best. He was just thrown in to a situation an hour and a half before a game. So I'm not gonna tell him, oh, he's a bum, he shouldn't be in the league. No, I'm not gonna go that far. The Ravens just take care of business how they were supposed to against a kid like that. Give me the Ravens at number 7.
Yeah, we are all aligned. They were 7 for me last week as well.
Can I do number 8 just so hopefully we kind of switch it up?
Yeah, you lead off number 8. Why not?
Still, at number 8, I hope we don't. Honestly, we should have the same number 8. Give me the Detroit Lions at number 8, Dill. An impressive win once again. Dill, this Lions team leading the division on top, 3-1. Jared Goff didn't have the best game, but still looking good. The running game, hate to say it, but David Montgomery's running the fire at the ball. He put up 36 points on me on fantasy, and I lost by like 40. So it was all because of him. Their defense, my main concern moving forward is the DB position. Are they going to be deep enough there? Losing the rookie, we know they saw the CJ Gardner-Johnson's out for the season. So I just want to see if the secondary is going to go back to what we saw last season or play like they did the first 4 weeks of the season.
Yeah, number 8, I have the Detroit Lions as well. Big win. I mean, what is that, 4 in a row now at Lambeau? And this is the brand new Lions. Like, this is not the same Lions that we've grown up watching with the fans with the plastic bags over their head. This is a punch you in the fucking mouth team and stop the run. And if you can't stop the run, we're going to hit you with the play action. And Jared Goff is easily a top 10 quarterback as well. I don't want to hear anything about it.
Wow.
Yeah, Jared Goff's a top 10 quarterback. They're running the ball with David Montgomery, and when he gets tired, they're going to give it to their first rounder in Gibbs, who runs a little hard. He kind of reminds me of Pacheco a little bit, the way he runs. But and the thing you mentioned, their defense incredible. They were on pace last season to be the worst defense in the history of the NFL. And now they've gone on this streak. They fired their D-back coach in the middle of the last season, and it's really turned this team around. That's what I'm most impressive with. I know they could score the ball. That wasn't my issue with them. It was, can they stop someone? And they have been. So love the Detroit Lions. They're sitting at number 8.
Dill, at number 9, Dill. I feel like we might be aligned for the rest of the top 10 list. At number 9, Dill, we just saw them. Give me the Seattle Seahawks in that front end defense at number 9, Dill. Geno Smith didn't have to play great, but Geno Smith, I'm glad that he's not regressing from what we saw last season. Defense still looked pretty good. Bogley Wagner still looks young, Dill. He had himself a day on Monday night. Kenneth Walker III looking like a stud. We know what DK Metcalf represents. We know what Tyler Lockett represents. And Smith and Nigba, he's pretty good as well. I know I chopped it up the name a little bit. And then the backup running back, he's pretty good as well, Dill. This team is deep. I think this team has a chance to make a playoff push come playoff time.
And they're very well coached. Who wins, the Gum or Pete Carroll? Because sometimes he's over there yapping at it, and sometimes it beats him and it's chomping back at him. But he was he was chopping on Monday night. I'm telling you, I could watch I almost called him Pete Carroll. Is it? No,
it is Pete Carroll.
Pete Carroll. I was thinking of another name, but Pete Carroll. I could just watch him chewing gum for hours. It's so hysterical. But Elvis, I agree. They're at number 9. And the impressive thing about a bunch of these teams that we've been reading off, they've been undefeated on the road, which is really telling you something. And they're slipping up at home, which I think will kind of even out. Yeah,
they can clean that up.
On the road is really the telling story, that these teams are undefeated at home. And granted, it's only 4 games, but still, they're playing well. Their defense, 10 sacks, like you mentioned. They got those 2 young studs. They're
set.
They're set in the set. They're trying to slowly rebuild the LOB. You bring back a Hall of Famer, which I think is a Hall of Famer, Bobby Wagner. He should be. I like what they're doing, and I think Geno Smith hasn't regressed. He's taking care of the ball. He's not doing stupid things. And when they get those 2 running backs and Kenneth Walker and Zach, I mean, they're set up, and they're extremely well coached. So, yeah, I like the Seahawks at number 9.
Still, at number 10. I'm kind of surprised I'm saying this. Give me the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Baker Mayfield at number 10, Dill. Sitting at 3-1. Impressive win versus the Saints. Baker Mayfield I think he's top 10 in QBR in the NFL right now, Dill. Got to give him his flowers. He's playing great. The injury for Mike Evans is a little concerning just because he's up there in age a little bit, and it's a hamstring injury, so it might nag him for a couple of weeks. That's a little concerning, but Chris Godwin still there, had himself a day. Rashad White, the talent, he's pretty good at the running back position. And that defense, Dill. Can Todd Bowles coach a defense? Yes, he can, Dill. Give me the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Baker Mayfield at number 10.
I just want to give a round of applause to Baker Mayfield. I mean, this fucking guy, man, what you have done the first 4 games. I would have laughed if someone told me, yeah, they're going to be sitting in first place after September, 3-1, 2-0 on the road, beat the Saints head to head. Baker top 7 in QBR. He's 7th, by the way. I just looked it up. He's 7th. Josh Dobbs. Shout out Josh Dobbs. He's 8th. But I mean, I would have laughed at you if you told me this. And their defense, Todd Bowles gets the boys playing. And to think they would have regressed on defense, I'm an idiot, to be honest, because I knew what the defense was in New York when he had it. We just couldn't, no offense, but we had Sam Darnold and bad offenses. It wasn't the defense. Our defense was always kind of solid. So, yeah, I am extremely impressed. With the first place Buccaneers, I have them at 10. Elvis, we are lockstep this week. I told you things kind of evened out, except I kind of I like the Eagles just up there because they're undefeated. That's literally the reason.
Yeah, but Buffalo had more impressive wins. That's the only reason I have Buffalo there. That's all. They're blowing teams out, cuz they're blowing teams out.
But they haven't lost. And you did say, oh well, they should have blown out the Skins, but I kind of disagree because I think in division game they know each other.
You always tell me good teams win, great teams cover. That's all I got to say with that one. That's why they're not top 3.
All right. Before we start our week 5 picks and we go over to Maryland and get our plays for the Skins and Bears game, quick word from our sponsor today. We are brought to you by Viva Tequila Seltzer, most refreshing hard seltzer on the market. There's no wonder why Viva was voted #1 hard seltzer in the world by San Francisco World Spirit Competition. With only 88 calories, 0 carbs, 0 sugar, and a light 4.5 ABV, Viva is the perfect drink for your post-game celebrations as it was created with that active lifestyle in mind. We flavor tequila seltzer because flavor is the spice of life, and we like our drinks with just a kick. Just like how we like our lives, whether it's Huckleberry playing around a golf with the boys or an elderberry on a Thursday night watching Thursday night football, it doesn't matter. Our favorites pair perfectly with that Artisanal Blanco tequila for that subtle and refreshing drink. Our belief here at the Dream Wager and at Viva is to live long, live well, and live it up. All right, E, let's get to Thursday night football down in Landover, Maryland, in the DMV area. We got the Redskins hosting the Chicago Bears. Right now, the Redskins laying 5.5 at home, -255 on the money line, +5.5 for the Bears, +210 on the money line. Over under is set at 44.5. Elvis, I will let you lead this one off. Sidewise first, how we feeling?
Dill, I'll tell you what, the Washington Redskins is the right side in this scenario, Dill. They're at home. Sam Howell's, he's been putting points on the board, Dill. That's when I gotta admit to that. He's been playing much better than I anticipated to. You know, don't get me wrong, the Bears, Justin Fields played. He couldn't play any better than what he played last week. Yeah, I understand he had the bad fumble at the end, Dill. Basically, cost him the game, Dill. But, bro, at first half, he was 16 for 16, over 200 yards, 3 touchdowns. Dill, and he was able to do that, and they wasn't able to win that game at home. I don't expect him to be anywhere near 16 for 16 with 3 touchdowns at any point in this game, especially on the road, Dill. Give me the Commanders -5.5 at home, Dill. I came down to it. I had to come to the decision. At the end of the day, who's the better coaching staff? The Redskins or the Bears? The Redskins. Who's the better quarterback?
Questionable. No, I'm kidding.
Who's the better quarterback right now? Not talent-wise. Who's just playing better, Dill? I'm gonna have to give it to Sam Howell, who has the more productive running game. The Washington Commanders, who has the better defense. I'm gonna be honest, Dill. They look good last week. I understand they give up a ton of points against the Broncos, against the Eagles. But when they needed to put in pressure, Dill, they could bring pressure, Dill. And I just feel like Justin Fields is gonna be able to turn over the ball when that pressure comes. Give me the Washington Commanders /49ers -5.5 at home.
Yeah, this one was tough. I mean, I think
I don't love it by any. Yeah. Just to be clear, people, I don't love it. I just feel like this is the best bet for the game, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think it's a good teaser spot. Whatever way you go, you get the Redskins to just win, or you get the Bears to go and lose by 11. Just don't lose by double digits, basically. So I do think it's a good teaser spot. I don't know if I do it just because Ron Rivera doesn't cover these big games. Like I'm done calling him Riverboat because Riverboat Ron, and it's unfortunate to say, but I think he's lost a step after he had cancer in 2021. Shout out him for beating it, but he's kind of lost a step. Basically, he didn't know last year they were eliminated from the playoffs. Now this year he was saying, I didn't go for 2 just because our team was tired, but you elected to play more. Hey, you know what I mean? It just doesn't make sense. So I don't know. He tends to play these games conservatively, as a big favorite, which I would consider this a big favorite. A game he's supposed to win. I feel like he's just going to run the ball, chew up some clock. And let's be honest, even like a big spread they saw in week 1 where they were -7 against the Cardinals. What did they do? The whole game, the Cardinals hung around. So
yeah, but still, the Cardinals are a much better team than the Bears. I'm pretty sure we could agree on that.
barely, but yeah, I could say that now. They've won a game.
They beat the Cowboys at that.
Yeah, at that. So it is an impressive win. But yeah, I just think they're going to let them hang around. I'm real not confident. Gun to my head, I would lay the points, to be honest. But I'm really not. I think it's a better teaser spot. Maybe a better live betting opportunity. Or watch how the game's playing a little bit. Maybe it's a slow, lower scoring game, and then you want to pounce on a team. As for the total, sitting at 44.5. Last year, finished 12-7. No touchdowns, just they had one touchdown, but all field goals on the other side. You see another under here?
So to be honest, I gotta lean the under just because I don't see Chicago putting up more than 17 points. I just don't see it. I think Chase Young gonna have himself a day. I think that offense, that front seven is gonna make themselves heard. I think Sam Howell is gonna and Eric Bieniemy is trying to limit Justin Field attempts. I think they're gonna dominate ball time and possession deal. I just feel like it's Washington's game. So I just feel like, the Bears are not gonna put up more than 17 points though. I just feel like it's gonna be a tough task for them offensively to put up points on the road deal, especially tomorrow night. So if anything, lean the under 19.5 for Chicago. And then game total as well. Because to be honest, we've seen Washington put up multiple 30-point games. We saw it last week against Philly, who has a pretty good defense on the road. So it wouldn't shock me if they put up another 31 points at home versus the defense from Chicago. Let's be real, Dill. It's just, can Chicago put up the points as well? So that's why I'll lean the under.
Yeah, I actually like that, the way you played that. Maybe a Chicago team total under instead of the full game under. I know the defenses on both sides have been really bad, but I think when the Skins get up, because I do think they'll be leading in the game, just like I said, I think the way I've watched the Redskins being in Maryland and just overall my life, the way they play is just very conservative, especially with Ron Rivera. I don't know how that's going to be now with Eric Bieniemy, but I just feel like they're going to pound the rock as soon as they get up. Like I said, last year, the game went way under 12-7. So I would lean under. It's hard to imagine if the Bears, I just can't see the Bears putting up another performance like they did last week. Like,
they're not. They will sometime again this season, but not back-to-back weeks, especially on the road on a short week.
Yeah, on a short week would be tough. So, yeah, I actually like the way you attacked it and just did the team total under for the Bears. But, yeah, just 2 leans for me so far. Now I do have 3 official player props, and I'll start this one off, and then I'll kick it towards you. My first player prop, I'm going to go with a Bear. DJ Moore over 48 receiving yards, simply because the Skins have had trouble with number 1 receivers all season. They couldn't, like I said, they couldn't guard A.J. Brown. He's still running. Like, he's still running down the sideline. Stephon Diggs is still running down the sideline as well against him. Marvin Mims, he's not even a number 1, and he toasted the Skins secondary. So I know both of us were probably not that high on the Bears passing attack, but DJ Moore's number being at 48.5 seems extremely low. Washington is also just one of 6 defenses that are allowing 200 plus yards to opposing wide receivers on the season per game. Over the last 3 weeks, 6 different wide receivers have collected at least 66 receiving yards versus the Redskins. So I think they're going to be playing from behind most of the game. They're going to be passing the ball. His game log, his first 4 games has been so up and down. First game of the season, 25 yards. Then he caught 104 against the Bucs. Then against the Chiefs, only 41 yards. And then last week he had 131 yards. So he's going crazy he's averaging 74 yards per game, and I feel like he's the only one that has any sort of chemistry with Justin Fields. Claypool has quit, literally football. Cole Kmet maybe could get a few catches, but I just think he has the most chemistry. Even if you're not super high on the Bears, which I'm not, I just feel like the number is really low, and I think he does get over this. So first player prop, DJ Moore over 48.5 receiving yards.
Still, I ended up staying away from the player prop still just because, it's going to be a tough game, and it's hard to come down on one, but I'm going to give
You've
you...
been good with the leans anytime touchdown.
Yeah, Dale, that's the thing. So I don't want to get too ahead of myself. I do lean Justin Fields anytime touchdowns. I think he does run it in for at the goal line. Dale, I think he gets in for one. And then I think Brian Robinson, he's at minus 150. Dale, we know he's his number one back. I think he gets in there by minus 150. If any parlay it, anytime touchdown Brian Robinson with the Commanders money line, you probably get plus odds with that.
I was looking at Justin Fields' first touchdown score at plus 950. I like that one. Yeah, I think Brian Robinson Jr. does get in, but minus 150, I would never lay for any time touchdown, to be honest. But speaking of Brian Robinson Jr., I'm going to take his over 64.5 rushing yards. I was looking back towards last year when these two teams played. Like I said, the Skins won 12-7, and that was the first game Brian Robinson came back from getting shot, literally shot. 4 weeks or less than 4 weeks later, comes back and just has a game. He goes for over 60 yards. I think he's going to have a little more of the workload, especially when they get up. And like I said, when Ron Rivera's in these type of games where he's a big favorite and they should win, he gets ultra conservative. Gibson, I think he's kind of fallen on the depth chart. He continues to fumble the ball. He's probably on the coach's shit list right now. And it's just hard to imagine that if the Skins go up, even 7 or 10 points, it's hard to imagine them not pounding the rock with Brian Robinson. He's such an old school back where they're just going to give him and feed him the ball. So I think he gets about 17 to 18 carries. And this might be my favorite play. I think he really goes for like 75, 80 yards. So I think the number is extremely low. And then my last player prop, if you don't have any, I like the over passing yards for Sam Howell. I was talking about how bad the secondary of the Skins are, but the secondary for the Bears is even worse. They're dealing with a lot of injuries. They're going to be without Eddie Jackson, one of their best DBs. He has a foot injury. Jalen Johnson, he has a hamstring injury. He's out. But they're also not they're hurt, and they're also playing not smart. So it's a bad combination of the two. I think at home for the Skins against a team that we all think they should play well against, he has to show out. My only worry with this one is if they get up a ton early and just run the ball the whole game. But knowing the Skins as much as I do, they'll allow the Bears to stay close in this game like they did against the Cardinals in week 1. So give me over 239 passing yards for Sam Howell.
Still, I like that one a lot just because Sam Howell's he's averaging around like 280 a game. Still, we saw him have a ton of yards last week. 300 against Denver. At home, I expect them to ball out a little better than what we saw last time. Saw them against Buffalo. Though that was just a horrendous outing. I expect them to be much better doing that. What, 235? You said
239.
239.
It has picked up yesterday. I saw it at 234. I was like, okay, maybe it'll stay around. This morning I woke up. It was at 239, and I was like, oh yeah, I gotta take it.
I think he goes for anywhere from 250 to 280. Though.
Yeah, I hope so. But Elvis, good luck. Only official play for you is what? I have 3. Those 3 player props.
The minus 5.5 Washington Redskins.
You're laying it. I love it.
I'm laying it. I love it. Let the nuts hang on the table.
Yeah, that's what we got to do. Attaboy, kid. Well, good luck. Should be a good game. Thursday Night Football on Amazon Prime in the I was gonna say Nation's Capital, but they play in Maryland. Redskins at Bears at Redskins at 8:15. Elvis, good luck there. Playoff baseball started. The Rays got swept by the Texas Rangers. Have you been watching the playoffs a little bit or no?
Yeah, Dell. I'll be watching the playoffs with my grandfather. Was tuning in last night. Watched the Minnesota game. Watched Tampa get smoked. So watched some good games. He's in bed by 8 o'clock. So we shut off the Philly game a little early, but we saw Philly take care of business as well.
Yeah, and right now, Minnesota won game 1. Shout out Minnesota, man. I was happy for them. Winning their first game in not 18 games, 18 years. 18 years they haven't won. They finally won last night.
2004.
19. I was trying to short. Yeah, 19. They haven't won in 19 years, so they won yesterday. They're up 2-0 today. I'm on the under 8 right now. It's 2-0, top 5 there. Milwaukee with Corbin Burns on the mound. They blow it at home. Excuse me. Arizona takes a 1-0 lead, and Philadelphia takes a 1-0 lead as well. Any plays for tonight? We have 2 games left: Arizona and Milwaukee, and Miami and Philly. Any thoughts on these 2 games?
Yeah, Dale, I'm gonna give Milwaukee the shot. There, I took Milwaukee Brewers money line -131. Dale, I just feel like they're not gonna get swept. I think they deserve to win one. I think they do win one in front of the home crowd, Dale. And I give you a team that will sweep. Give me the Philadelphia Phillies -152 on the money line, Dale. I do think it'll be a little closer ball game tonight, maybe like a 3-2 game. I do expect it to go under. Give me the Philadelphia Zanola on the mound on the money line -152. A little rich still. But like I said, I expect it to be a close one, 3-2 final score.
Yeah, I love that. Elvis, the only play I had, or 2 plays I had today, was I was on the under that the game's going on. So knock on wood, hopefully that cashes. And I'm on the Brewers money line -130. I think we're getting a discount just because they did lose game 1. It's hard to expect them to get swept. So I don't think they'll get swept. I think they come out with a little bit of urgency. Their bats wake up, and Christian Yelich is just an absolute beast. So I do think they'll win there. No play on the Phillies. Maybe you want to take them on the run line. I took them yesterday on the run line, +130 at cash. So I do think Miami does close it out. And then we start the AL. We got games tomorrow, depending on if we sweep or not. But yeah, it's all set for the ALDS game 1 in Baltimore, October 7th, which is, I think, this Saturday. Texas Rangers at Baltimore. Can't wait for that. I was really trying to go out there and see a game. Should be electric down in Baltimore. But yeah, E, any last words before we get out of here, kid?
Nah, Dale, let's just keep it going. NFL season, I'm 34-29, so we're in the green. So long as we keep it in the green, week 5, that's all that matters, still. So let's just have a great Thursday night game, and then we'll be right back at it Saturday with a bunch of plays for Sunday.
100%. And by the way, we're like less than 2 weeks away. It's 2 weeks from, maybe a little, but a little over 2 weeks. October 24th is the first night, of the NBA season. We're going to start previewing each division. We'll start with the Atlantic Division. We'll try to get guests on as well, but we're going to give you out win totals, maybe coach of the year, some player props, whatever we find some value for. We're going to start breaking down this weekend as well. But I can't wait to start getting basketball involved. November 12th is the first day of college basketball. Hockey starts next week. So we're locked and loaded, kid. We got a lot of sports to discuss, but thank you guys for everything. That's going to do it for this Wednesday edition of The Dream Wager. On behalf of our sponsor, Viva Tequila, Elvis, myself, we'll see you guys on Saturday. We'll recap Thursday Night Football. We'll give out our best bets for the weekend. So make sure you guys follow along our social media, X and Instagram at The Dream Wager. You guys can find all of our episodes wherever you listen to podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher. We go live every Wednesday, Saturday, and Sunday on YouTube, youtube.com/The Dream Wager. Subscribe, rate, review, all that good stuff really helps the show grow tremendously. So we appreciate the hell out of you. Be a friend, tell a friend. Everyone have a great few days. Good luck on your wagers. Be safe, be well, and we'll see you guys down the road. Peace.